Hey guys, Balas and Ramos, and this Sunday the Miami Dolphins will be hosting the New England Patriots, the second matchup of the season so far between the two. They played earlier in the season. This was just right after Tua got hurt, and the Dolphins were able to ink out a win in Foxborough, and it was quite an entertaining matchup. And a lot of Patriot fans are pretty salty about the result of that matchup, where Jalen Polk arguably caught a touchdown at the end of the game, and according to the officials, he didn't get his both feet down. It is what it is. I don't know really what to say to those Patriot fans besides, it happens. It's part of the game. Make sure you don't be in that position. But now there is a new QB at the helm for the New England Patriots. That is Drake Maye, their third overall pick. And he's at the helm under center, and he's making things different for this Patriots team. So that's something to look out for. And we're going to get into that now as we get into the game preview. All right, guys. Not going to sugarcoat it here. These two teams are not too far apart in terms of standings, records, etc. But what I will say is they are very far apart in terms of expectations and how their seasons both should be going. And the Patriots are kind of just around expectation. I would say maybe slightly below it, but they're kind of floating around where they maybe should be, or at least some realists came into the season thinking. And then meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins are on the complete opposite end. At 4-6, Miami Dolphins are not happy with their record. They dug themselves a massive hole when Tua went down, and they're paying the price for it now. And only winning, that was a sole win that the Dolphins got when Tua was out. It was against the New England Patriots. With that being said, I expect things to be different for this Miami Dolphins team. Let's hope so. We'll just see how it goes. So, in terms of the game preview, we'll talk about some of the gambling lines. The Dolphins are favored by a touchdown and half a point, so 7.5 in Miami's favor. Over/under set at 46.5, and the Dolphins are favored in terms of money line at -400, while the Patriots are at +300. Man, oh man. ESPN's matchup predictor has the Miami Dolphins at 67.7% chance of winning to the New England Patriots 32%. Game time weather is expected to be 77 degrees with slight, partly cloudy, mostly sunny. And the cold front will be kind of passing right now. It hit really hard this morning, and it feels good to get cold here every now and then in Miami. In terms of AFC East standings, not going to be favorable to any team aside from the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo is still on top, 9-2. Meanwhile, the Dolphins are at 4-6, and then behind them are a tie, but the Patriots are in last in this terms at 3-8 between the Patriots and the Jets. With that being said, Patriots are not that great on the road. They're 2-4 on the road. Meanwhile, Dolphins not so great at home either, 2-3 at home. But things are changing. Things are shifting for this Miami Dolphins team. Let's hope for the better. They just got their second home win out of their first 5 games, so that's kind of tells you what's been going on for this Miami Dolphins team. All right, let's talk about some injuries. We're going to start with the Patriots since they are the visiting team. First and foremost, we'll start with Dietrich Wise Jr. He is a defensive end, and he is listed as questionable with a foot injury. And we'll continue it on with Keon White, defensive end, also questionable. All these guys in the list are questionable. I'll let you know who's out otherwise. But Keon White, defensive end, he's out, questionable for knee injury. Same thing for Anthony Jennings, linebacker, has a knee injury as well. Christian Gonzalez, cornerback, questionable with a hip injury. Marte Mapu, safety, with a neck injury. Cal Duggar, safety, with an ankle injury. Those guys are listed as questionable. Same thing for Verdun Lowe, offensive tackle. Guys who are confirmed out for this matchup are Jacqueline Roy, defensive tackle, and Cole Strange, offensive guard. Cole Strange is dealing with a knee injury. And then to add on to that, they have Curtis Jacobs, linebacker, is on injured reserve with a head injury. I'm assuming that's a concussion. Jabril Peppers, safety, is out. He is considered out with a shoulder injury, but he's on the commissioner's exempt list, dealing with some legal issues. And that pretty much wrapped things up in terms of when the last time the Miami Dolphins faced them. let's talk about the Dolphins and give you guys some injury updates for the Fins. We'll start with fullback Alec Ingold. He is listed as questionable with a calf injury. He may more than likely suit up for this matchup against the Patriots. Let's hope so. I like the dynamic he brings to this Dolphins offense, and the rushing attack is definitely different with him helping anchor some of those big time blocks. Early on in the season, the running game when it was doing good, Alec Ingold was leading the charge and making some of those big time blocks out of the backfield. Kendall Fuller, cornerback, is listed as still as out with his concussion. And then we continue on with Teron Armstead, offensive tackle, just listed as questionable. Bradley Chubb, linebacker, is out with a knee injury, and that dates back to last week. We can also talk about Isaiah Wynn, offensive tackle, still listed as out with a quadriceps and knee injury, and same thing for Tanner Connor, tight end. He's on injured reserve with a knee injury. That pretty much goes back a week, and last time we talked about that Dolphins injury lineup, but not so bad. I was expecting the list to be a lot longer, a lot, extensive, but thankfully not as bad for this Miami Dolphins team. Now, make it quick, make it simple, make it easy. This is a rookie quarterback that the Miami Dolphins are facing, so obviously the first key to victory is getting pressure on Drake Maye. He has exceeded to, cope with a lot of the pressure that's been thrown his way. So, as much as I'm saying put pressure on him, fill out, close out those pressures. Get some sacks, get some knockdowns. Make him have to throw some bad balls, because that will shift the momentum heavily in this Miami Dolphins team's favor, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The Patriots offense isn't anything too crazy, but as of late, they've been competing with a lot of teams. I understand they only put up 3 points against, never mind, don't mind that. But they've been competing ever since Drake Maye has gotten in the lineup, and they've made things interesting. So, with that being said, I would love to see the Dolphins find ways to manipulate this rookie quarterback and make him, have some fits and just be uncomfortable back there, because once he starts feeling uncomfortable, hopefully that will turn into a lot of these forced throws that could end up being picks, batted balls down, etc. Just lots and lots of in the Dolphins' favor. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, hopefully if Alec Ingold returns, I would like to see the ball ran a little bit more efficiently. The Dolphins found a decent running attack last week against the Las Vegas Raiders. I hope they can build off of that. So definitely want to emphasize running the ball and running the ball efficiently. And do not, I repeat, do not fumble the ball. Raheem Mostert, as of late, pretty much almost every time he's touched the ball in terms of running the ball, in some of these games he's been fumble prone, and that's been unfortunate. And they've strayed away from letting him run the ball. So I just want to say with that, I want to bring back some encouragement to him and say, hey, we're not giving up on you. We have faith in you. Do not, obviously turn over the ball. But aside from that, got to get the guy his touches. And I think, right now, obviously, it's been HN being the lead back. So mostly in a solidified backup role pretty much right now. I still want to get him implemented into this offense, because the more guys the Dolphins have comfortable in this offense, the better they can perform when players are getting double teamed, etc. And that's the big thing about Jonnu Smith right now. You see guys like Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, getting a lot of focus on the passing game on defense, and it leaves Jonnu Smith virtually wide open. And he's been taking advantage of that, and so has Tua. So yeah, definitely I want to see the running game be more assertive, especially by the hands and feet of Raheem the Dream Mostert. Last but not least, cannot let this one be close. I think this Dolphins team has been taking the right steps, improving each and every week since Tua's return. Obviously, those first 2 weeks when Tua came back against the Cardinals and the Bills, you lost in last minute situations. Fine. But I think truly just separating yourself early in this game and then continuing to pile it on is going to be big time for this Dolphins team to boost up their confidence and keep them rolling, because following this matchup, it's not going to get any easier for this Miami Dolphins team, because following this game, they got the Thanksgiving game against the Green Bay Packers, first game against the Jets at the Texans, and then versus the 49ers. Now, these matchups are starting to look a lot easier. And the NFL and their strength of schedule adjustment has been saying that this is going to be the easiest strength of schedule to close out the season. And it's crazy because when the season first started, I'm like, man, this was going to be the toughest stretch. And now it's looking like a lot different. But don't want to overlook any of these teams. I definitely don't want the Dolphins to drop any of these important matchups down the stretch because it still is possible. Now, the standings, not so much in the Dolphins' favor. They are currently the 9th seed at 4-6, just behind the 5-6 Indianapolis Colts and the 6-5 Denver Broncos, who are holding the 7th seed right now. And then this Monday night matchup is really going to decide the top seed in terms of the wild card between the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers 7-3, Baltimore 7-4. So whoever comes out on top there is definitely going to lock up, at least for now, the number 5 seed and just have some type of separation here. Aside from that, it's going to be an interesting run down the stretch. Hopefully, one of these teams falter, and I don't predict either one of those top 2 teams to falter. So it's really coming down to that 7th seed and whether or not Denver drops out. Let's see what happens. They've been quite a surprise team so far this year, but I'm hoping the Dolphins can just keep on ascending. So, first and foremost, keys to victory is get lots and convert on the pressure on Drake Maye. Second, run the ball well, very efficiently, get Raheem Mostert involved. And last but not least, just keep on improving and just, kind of pile it up on the Patriots. I'm hoping that will be the case. The Patriots are no slouch, so I'm not expecting this to be a blowout. But it would be fun to see the Dolphins get back to being one of the premier offenses in all of the NFL. Yep, and that will pretty much do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, let's hope for a Fins win and improve to what will be 5-6 and, be a game out from 500 heading into the Thanksgiving game against the Packers. And trust me, fans will be very thankful if the Dolphins can come out of that game at 500. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. They got a matchup against the Patriots this week. I was so rude. I did not mention what the game was. I'm pretty sure it's a CBS game. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. I'm just definitely a big old jerk here. Yeah, November 24th, 1 p.m. kickoff, Hard Rock Stadium. Game will be broadcast on CBS. So check out your local listings. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.